Curtis Reviews. Like and subscribe.
It was all a dream.
Oh my god, I've got to record an episode.
What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Curtis Review. This week we were talking about the final episode of Atlanta Season 4, Episode 10, titled It Was All a Dream, directed by Hiro Murai and written by Donald Glover. It's finally here, the ending of Atlanta. Let's see what happens. High-pitched oohs start the episode, the camera having a curved, subdued quality to match Darius's hazed-out look. Amnesty's Liberty plays in as Darius gazes at a Popeyes commercial and Judge Judy. Earn snaps him out of it. Darius tells him and Al that he has a step date later, or a date with a sensory deprivation tank. These are heady chambers where people go to relax and sometimes hallucinate. The alkalinity of the water just does something to you, man. Earn roasts Old McAlfred and his country-style flannel. Old McAlfred had a farm where he fucked her hoe. They've got a separate date, a black-owned sushi restaurant, the first one in Atlanta, Earn says. Van wants them to support, and Paperboy's presence will bolster their appeal. Darius's journey starts us at a Walgreens where he runs into none other than Cree Summer as he's picking up his anxiety medication. It's Cree Summer. She happens to overhear him talking about the sensory deprivation date he's going on. She used to be part of a group called the Floateps, where they did floating themselves, but she says she got too deep into it. This is the first time in the episode we have the suggestion that the deprivation tank may cause hallucinations to seem real, like a questioning reality kind of real. Also learn about Darius's grounding technique. Thick, Judge Judy. Judge Judy, Darius says, is always on TV, and if she's thick, he knows he's in the tank. Cree Summers explains, Cree Summer, that she was trained to look at the world like a battle, but now she demands that she dances how she wants to. Experience is ultimately influenced by you. This moment with Darius and Cree Summers' character is very sweet and tender. It's Cree Summer! God, you gotta get it right! Oh, God! Back at the sushi restaurant that used to be a Blockbuster, it just so happens to be across the street from a mouth-watering Popeyes. Al says it smells like the manager is mean as hell. Earn, Van, and Al do, however, start to question the legitimacy of this black-owned sushi restaurant, and even Van can't stop thinking about the Popeyes. Sup? The sous chef says, a la the traditional sushi kitchen call and response, in one of the many hilarious moments of this episode. We go back to Darius, walking on the street, greeted by London, an old friend and potential old flame. They reminisce, she coaxes him into the car and offers to give him a ride. In a masterfully tense change of pace, the cops pull them over. London has downed an entire water bottle of vodka. As if nothing had happened at all, she gets out, she passes the sobriety test, she answers how many homeboys were in Homeboys in Outer Space, and ends up stealing the cop's gun. They flee, she hits a biker, and she takes off like running down the street. Darius ends up with the gun in his lap, causing him to splash, wake up in the deprivation tank. I loved London here and her larger-than-life presence. And while we are beginning to question if she really existed or not at this point, or wasn't just part of a dream, you have to wonder if she's someone from Darius's past. A gaggle of white women are sitting in the tea room, going on and on about the tea and how good the tea in the tea room is, tea, to which Darius starts to think maybe he's hallucinating again, so he stands up, grabs one of the women, and he shouts, "Wake up!" which gets him kicked out of the spa.
Back to the other three.
We see shots of an old snack rack from the previous Blockbuster. Al's longing eyes going towards the Popeyes. Earn urges Al to be more supportive of the culture, to support these black-owned businesses, even when the food and processes are questionable to Al. The hot white Hennessy is hilarious here.
Side note,
all of the practices of making sushi that this black-owned restaurant staff does is actually traditional sushi practice. Back to Darius, we see he's arrived to visit a sick friend, who we find out is his brother, played by none other than Kevin Iso from Flatbush Misdemeanors. Darius can't stay for the Jollof, but there's a distinct impression that this brother is no longer with us in the waking world. His brother even stresses that he wants Darius to go out and experience life, go outside, be with his people, have fun, out of the tank, outside, experiencing life, inside the tank, introspection, dreams, terror, the past. Lakeith Stanfield makes excellent work in this scene, really the entire episode. He's amazing. Voice cracking, looking back through old photos of him and his family, asking his brother down the dusty open hallway how mom and dad are doing. Realize Darius may really just be alone in this world. His family may not be around anymore. Heartbreaking and beautiful. But Judge Judy's still thick, and Darius wakes up in the tank again. 30 minutes. After Al walks back from the rainbow across the street, pretty furious, the chef special comes out. Poisonous blowfish cheek. None of them want to eat it, no matter how much of a rare delicacy it is. As they try to dip out, Chef DeMarcus comes out in his little red bow tie, delivering a magnificent and hammy speech about black people hopped up on nationalism, coming to support their own after screenings of Queen and Slim. He says if a brother from Alabama, as traditional Japanese sushi, suddenly the fish is dirty. His master he studied under, Yuji Watanabe, it doesn't matter where you serve the sushi. If it's good, people will come. And you know what? Chef DeMarcus is onto something with his criticism of Popeyes and the Aunt Jemima of it all. In fact, an Italian family is the owner of the Popeyes recipe. He breaks through to Al, stopping them as they try to rush out the door, pushing his poisonous fish once again, laughing maniacally. But before DeMarcus can lock the doors, Darius, delivering a swift punch to the face, rushing Van Earn and Al out the door, driving the pink Maserati into the sunset. Marvin Gaye's Dream of a Lifetime plays as they drive, and their complete joy at the Oprah check under your seat moment where they find it's under there is priceless. But more importantly, this is the way they chose to end the show. This was a black forward, intelligent, strange television show that chose to end on a high note. Our proverbial sitcom family, they are safe and no one is hurt. How often do you see black-centric stories like this ending in this way? Donald & Co. created one of the best television series of all time here. But not only that, but one of the best endings. After they finish their meal of Popeyes, Darius stays inside as the rest of the gang goes out back to smoke and enjoy the night. Once again, we see some inside-outside. Final shot is full circle from the beginning. Darius gazing into the TV, but this time we can't tell whether or not Judge Judy is making Darius analog for us, the viewers of the TV show. As the story continues outside, like the ending of The Sopranos, we don't know what happens to Tony, and likely he didn't hear it happening either, but Atlanta gives us the gift as sound in this ending. Funkadelics, the song is familiar, is great here. A story's ending is paramount to its legacy, and sticking that landing is hard to do. They did that here. Leaving it open-ended with some cathartic and fun payoff is enough. Now superfans can speculate, theorize ad nauseum until the Atlanta movie comes out, but it probably won't. This is why I believe the perfect ending is a non-ending, a promise of continuation, because the richness and vibrancy of the characters should mean that no matter whether we are in this television land of dreaming, somewhere out there, these characters exist in some form or fashion too. Or maybe I've been in the tank this whole time. Either way, what did you think of this finale? Was it all a dream? Or did some of it happen? Or we're just living in Donald Glover's simulation? That wraps up our coverage of Atlanta Season 4 here on Curtis Reviews, which means some new stuff is coming down the pipeline. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you so much for sticking through it here with me on this series. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing.
Hit that goddamn bell.
Until next time, peace. Wow. I guess I'll start a YouTube channel.